Okay, Lenore, here are my thoughts. Now, here we have, let's come back here. Let's get this back. Okay, here we have, just trying to get my pointer. Here we have a wrinkled and messy background and a lot of dead space. Excuse me. And your bottle is leaning left. It has to be lined up better. And the other thing is, now here's where you're a little bit at a crossroads. Is this an ad campaign, or are you presenting an editorial on Coca-Cola paraphernalia and going down memory lane? Because if you're going down memory lane with an editorial, this scuffed up softball is okay. If you're presenting an ad, then you have to have a clean baseball. So your message here is presumably Coca-Cola is as American as baseball, correct? Now, I just want to show you something. If I can pull this off. Here's how you have to straighten it out. See, just like this. And a little tighter. Move this over a little bit. And voila. Well, we still have dead space. See, here's before, here's after. That's a little bit better. But I would probably move it over even more. So I'll go something like this without cutting into the image, of course. See, this is the edge of the image, so I can't go any further. I wouldn't go any further with this. We're losing it here too. That's the best I can do. So you would have to move this over more. Now, secondly, you have a black glove on a black background, and you have Coca-Cola that's black on a black background. I'm not sure that makes sense. If you're going to take this route, go on a white background. And stick aluminum foil in back of the Coca-Cola so that light bounces through and you have a glow to the liquid. That's the other old studio trick. Okay? So much for that. Now, also, to separate the glove from the background, if you're going to insist on using a black background, now remember, you have to clean this up, you have to clean up the wrinkles. Better to get black seamless, like I suggested in week 1. Seamless, white and or black, probably both. Gray is another good one to have. Seamless does not wrinkle. Once it wrinkles, you cut it off and you throw it away. You roll down a fresh portion of your roll. Okay, now in week 2, part B, you learned a technique where you lend an edge, a specular edge to your black. Oh, let me get rid of this crop tool. You lend a specular edge to your black object, dark object, so that it separates from the background. So your specular light is back here somewhere. And you put on a honeycomb grid or barn door or a snoot to create a specular light that's about a half stop less in intensity than your main light, which is coming from here, from the left. In this case, it's coming from the left. So that's one technique you can use. The other technique is to put a spot in the background. You did something like that here. This is good. Now I know, I can see through my trained eye that you're using an umbrella. On glass, you cannot use umbrellas. You have to use a softbox. I hope you have a softbox. Tell me you have a softbox. And now you're also missing detail in the front. So you got to see, we got to get that detail in there. Now we're also starting to get a little too much of the background, but you have the idea. Before and after. Before and after. I like this highlight effect. I would move it over more behind the bottle. But I can see why you may have used it here because of the glove, which is fine. Actually, that's fine. Maybe you want to increase the spot to include both. But you need this detail in here. Okay, moving on. This, here's what you submitted actually. This is underexposed. Should be exposed something like this. Again, you need the detail in the front. In both these cases, you use a fill light in the front, but be mindful of your reflections. You could either use a passive fill or a lower power fill light at camera angle. Okay, this is starting to blow out, so I'm going to give this a hit like that. Now it's not blowing out. Okay. So here, there. Okay, so in this one, this actually is pretty good, this kind of exposure. This is probably the best shot, unless you want to experiment with other backgrounds and follow some of my suggestions here. But as far as what you already have, this could be one of your shots. The way, not this, more like this. Okay, now I had some second thoughts, some other thoughts about your previous work. Now, if you were to go the editorial route, you might include glasses. These glasses look like they're not totally clean though. I would clean them up better. This is off your contact sheet, number 33. Your background is just starting to show up. You might also consider photographing this on white. See what that looks like. Experiment. Use white seamless. Okay, and let's see what happened here. Here we go. Okay, you could also use a dingy Coca-Cola classic bottle if this is a editorial piece. For a commercial, for an ad, you cannot use a dirty bottle. Okay, I think I'll stop there. Lenore, if you have any questions, please reach out. I want you to do well here. And that's it. Okay? I'll talk to you next time. Take care.